This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Michele Berra, let me tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. You can contact Drew, 405-478-7714. Contact Aaron, 405-773-5500. Both are great guys, both great options for car or home insurance. And they work for a really good company in Shelter Insurance. Shelter has been ranked number 1 for customer satisfaction by J.D. Power 6 out of the last 7 years, and also number 1 on the Forbes list for the world's best auto insurance companies. But truly, the reason to contact these guys is that they are trustworthy, good guys that want to help you make sure that you take care of your cars or your home. So be sure to contact them today and support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me from a cliff somewhere not at his home is Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
Well, everything is great. I am not in the usual cliff, but I can still see the bay. So it's a sort of a cliff. Beautiful. I'm in Croatia, by the way. Amazing country. I love it. Yeah. I understand why podcast maestro Zach Lowe keeps coming here every damn summer. It's just amazing.
It looks amazing. It looks awesome. Okay, so today we're going to do start a 2-part series where we're going to give players homework or basically discuss what could guys do to improve from last year to this year. The first one, and I think he's one of the more interesting guys, is Chet, who had, man, it's wild that Chet went down when he did, and the Thunder still won the NBA title with him playing. I think it's good to just like stop and think about, because I mean he got injured on November 10th against Golden State, and they knew pretty quick like something very bad has happened to him, and he missed a ton of time. He came back on, was it the 7th of February, which was kind of shocking, that he came back that quickly. And he played kind of limited minutes. He played every other game, for a minute, but then was able to play 3 games in a row, before the All-Star break. Or I guess that was after the All-Star break. He was able to play 3 games in a row.
I think everything was after, yes.
Yeah, and then they, gave him time off here and there, but the fact that this guy went through what he did, a very traumatic injury, like extremely traumatic injury, one that he had to just lay in bed for weeks to let that bone heal. And then you have to get up and you've got to go. And I think partly one of the good things is that he had like a real motivation in front of him to get back in shape, because this team was just crushing. They were amazing. And so he wanted to get back to be part of that. And the fact that he got back, fit in like he did, and the Thunder put it all back together to win the NBA title is truly a miraculous event. And I think one that probably is not discussed enough, one that people probably even forget about to a degree, or when they mention it, it's like a footnote. It is a huge story that he was able to do that, that he was able to come back from that and to play at the level that he did. So, I mean, I just think, one, there's a lot that Chet can improve on and that we can discuss. But two, I think it's just important to just acknowledge the season that he had and how crazy it is that this team went through that and still won the NBA championship. It's just remarkable.
Yeah, it is. And when he came back, I mean, the first few weeks, those were not like perfect, but those weren't very far from in spots to the ideal version of Chet Holmgren, which it's by itself, let me say, a sport miracle. And to me, the thing that is not underlined enough with Chet is that if you're a fan of analytics, you're a fan of numbers, which everybody knows that I am. Chet is the most impactful player by on-off over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Especially in the postseason. I mean, if you look at the numbers against Dallas last year, it was night and day. And clearly you could say, okay, but without Chet, they were really short of a center. So it's like a plus minus lie. But this year they were not. And the minutes with Chet as a center were just incredible in terms of effectiveness. And I think that Chet is a player that probably playing the way he is playing, and I mean not being ball needy on offense and just being amazing on defense, is harming a little bit his earnings, but is maximizing the potential of this team. And I think that this should be recognized. I think that the team recognized that by giving him a max. I think that the lack of real escalators are due mostly to his health concerns, more so than his play.
Yeah.
But it's incredible how Chad can impact a game on both ends. And just to go to my resolution, it's very easy, and it's a common theme for most players. He should really focus on frequency of 3-point attempts. I remember a European player named Terrell McIntyre, who was a sensational point guard in Europe. He was just probably 5'10", 5'11", and he basically by himself, even before Kerr's time, he brought this Italian team, Montepaschi Siena, to the EuroLeague by just bombing the hell out from 3-point range. And he told the story that every single day during the summer, he was hitting, not taking, hitting 1,003 every single day.
Wow.
And I'm not sure because I've never trained with Terrell McIntyre, but you could see how easy it was for him to just jack shots. And I think that Chet Holmgren should really focus on the quickness and the fact that he should really let it fly. Even if it's not the best shot, even if it's maybe there is 2 or 3 passes away, a good shot, just sometimes take the 3 because that will open up so much for him. And I think that he should also expand a little bit the in-between game, which he clearly has. And I think he can leverage even more because if you cheat on him from 3, then you should gun. If he takes like just a mid-range jumper, I think that he adds complexity to the offense itself. The offense itself.
Yeah. No, I think the threes is certainly something. I mean, he needs to take 8 a game. Is kind of where I would.
Yeah, I agree.
That number.
8 is a lot. I would be very happy with 6.
6 would be like double what he did last year. I
Yeah.
think ultimately, like he's a guy that could take 8 a game. I also think he needs to. I just think about the guys that were like him before, like KG and Dirk and these like big kind of forward center guys that in this modern era, KG is a center. KG probably plays full time center, but like KG had this face up game and like more of like a go to shot without necessarily putting the ball on the floor. That I just wonder if he could work that into his game too, where they give him the ball in the high post and he can do his move without necessarily having to get to a dribble, which is something that Dirk mastered. It's something that KG was really good with. And so I do wonder if there's something there too, just because, I mean, part of it too is like his handle just has to get better than it is now. We saw that many times in transition. Just watching him dribble, it just felt like, oh man, like somebody's going to get that ball. Like somebody's going to be able to get their hands on that basketball. And so I just wonder if if his handle isn't necessarily like super improved next season, if he has some kind of like go-to mid-range shot that he can get to, every single time. Like Dirk could get to his little one-legged fadeaway whenever he wanted. What is Chet's like go-to move? Like what is Chet's move that we know? Oh, Chet can get to this every time. It's probably that spin move is probably like his signature move at this point. But I just wonder if there's something that's a bit easier to get to with consistency.
He has a nice baseline jumper.
Yeah.
I think that when he goes into this right baseline and he just takes a jumper from there, it's something that he seems at ease with. Now, that place is a nice place for when he plays with Hartenstein or without, because it's a little bit out of the dunker spot, but not terribly out. And so if from there he can just take advantage when the center of the other team doesn't look at him, or just take a jumper whenever he stays home, then even that is a shot that you can really put into the offense and make it just effective. But you're right, it has to be a simple shot that when he touches the ball, he can get to without really moving a lot or without taking a couple of dribbles.
Yeah. I'm just interested to see if something like that will happen with him. He's an insatiable worker. He wants to be great. And I expect him to be a much better offensive player next season. Just because he's had time this summer, he's put in time. He looked amazing at the beginning of last year. He was on track to be an all-star. He would, if he stayed healthy, he'd probably be Depoy. I mean, that's the kind of player that he is. And so I just
isn't it crazy, Andrew, that we talk about J-Dub as, hey, maybe he can be first or second team All NBA, and you have Chet, which last year he was probably again a Depoy, and for sure an All-Star. That is so obscene in terms of talent accumulation for the team. And it's not like overstating. Just look at the numbers. Look at the defensive rating when Chet is on the court. Look at how, like, anybody in the league adjusts. Everybody in the league adjusts when Chet is protecting the rim. Everybody. There is not a single player who's not affected by this kind of defense.
Yeah. Yeah, the defense is and has been special since he's entered the NBA. I mean, he is a special defensive player. And the Thunder can play their style of defense largely because you got this guy protecting the rim. And there are very, very few, I won't say there's nobody like him. There are very few players like him that man the middle like that. And I think that he's not bad when he's put on an island either. We saw that even down the stretch of some of these games against Indiana, where they were targeting him over and over again because that was like the only guy you really could target.
Yeah, ask TJ McConnell how that went.
Yeah, TJ, Hallie got him once, but he also, I think it was maybe a couple of possessions later, stopped Halliburton from scoring, and it's impressive what he was able to do. And I don't know this for sure, but I just can't imagine that he was 100%. Like his legs are like back at 100%, by the playoffs. I'm sure that he felt good. I'm sure that the hip injury was healed, but I have a hard time imagining that he was just I'm at my peak, during the playoffs with his leg. And so, kudos to Chet. I think he will come back better. Again, insatiable worker. Like he wants to get better. And credit to him for not taking any escalators. Like he could point to a lot of numbers and say, you know what? I am like the Kevin Garnett of this era. Like you're not going to give me everything? Really? Like he could have held out. He could have held out and said, "Hey, I don't care. I was the number 2 pick. The injuries that I've had were very fluky. They were very weird. Andrew Wiggins, the way that injury happened was very unusual, where they collide in midair and Chet's body just goes sideways and he lands hard on his hip. I mean, it was a very, very strange injury. Like there's not really a database for that kind of injury in the NBA. It was so weird. He's like, these are just fluke things that happened. And the rest of my life, I've not really dealt with injury. And so, I can tell you that I feel confident I'm going to be healthy and, I'm going to be well worth that 30% max. You just need to give me the 30% max,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he did.
I think
He said no escalators. It's not like 25% max. It's like some chump change. Like he's making a ton of money. But the fact that he sacrificed and that J-Dub did as well, and Alex and I talked about this last week, was just that it could help provide an additional very high-level role player to this team and allow them to keep guys like Cason Wallace and Lou Dort on the team.
Lou Dort, yes.
And so we just have to be aware of like the sacrifices that those guys made. And like they are going to have a tangible impact on the way that this team builds, for the next few years. So,
and I don't want to go back to the past, but this is the difference between wanting to be part of something and making just noise because you didn't get the super duper amount that you could have gotten. And it's not like a judgment on a guy that wants every single penny that he can squeeze. I think that there are probably 25 teams that would give Chet the Supermax with 30%. Maybe not every team, but most of the teams. And like to choose to believe in something and just sacrificing a little bit, it's something that if you do, it makes a difference. If you don't want to do, that's fine. But it's not just on the team to say, okay, I'll pay you 30% of the max. Because if you pay Chet 30% of the max, and then he has 2 seasons like the one that he had in his rookie contract, then that deal is horrible, or at least not the best one. So I really think that it takes 2 to make it work, and I'm glad that Chet is one of the 2.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, it's all lined up so perfectly. Like you have this primary ball handler who is the most valuable player in the NBA, helped you win the NBA Finals MVP. You have a wing that can play literally 1 through 5. He played that throughout the season. He played 1 through 5. The guy jumps center. the game after Chet got hurt against the Clippers. And then you have a center that not only protects the rim at a high level, but shoots threes. I mean, it is the perfect trio. Not only are they all crazy talented, but the fact that it worked out where you have a guard, wing, big that all fit really well together, want to play together, have all signed up to play together for, the foreseeable future in Oklahoma City is unbelievable. The first big three was great. Those are great players. Those are Hall of Famers. All won the MVP. But like the fit wasn't like anywhere close to what we have here. It was what we found out, two primary ball handlers and a big forward, which is like you would take that too. Like no question that most franchises would take that too. But the fact that it's worked out to where it's guard, wing, center, all that can play at a super high level is just kind of ridiculous. Like it's just
one could say that in the modern era, there will be no questions on whether Ibaka was a center or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he would just play that.
It's true.
That is probably one thing that you could have changed to make thing works. Like just but it's again, the past is the past. Shall we dive into what Jalen Williams should do to improve this summer?
Yeah, we can talk about J-Dub, who had a ridiculous season of his own. I mean, the guy was an all-star, made all-NBA, third team. He was all-defense, second team. Scored 40 in the NBA Finals. Really established himself as the second scorer.
That's crazy.
Unreal. Only 24 years old. Just finished his third season.
That is ballistic. Like I hear you. I listened to the pod with Alex, and I think that he said fourth season.
Yeah.
And you correct him. It's just it blows my mind that it's just the third season. It's just
yeah.
It's just incredible.
I mean, if I came to you on draft night and I'm like, hey, I'm from the future. The Thunder just selected Jalen Williams at 12. And by the end of year 3, this guy will have an NBA championship. He will have scored 40 in the NBA Finals, made the All-Star team, made the All-NBA team, made all defense. You would just, I mean, it would be mind-blowing. Like, that is the most mind-blowing I'm from the future thing ever. I mean, and the guy has just been, I mean, he's been really, really good. He was second in Rookie of the Year race the year before.
Yeah.
He's been good from the jump. And that's, I mean, it was very clear,
Yeah.
I mean, he broke his face like really quick during his rookie season, but after he kind of came back from that and kind of stabilized, he was just a really good player. You just knew, like, hey, this guy's really good. And then year 2 was incredible. And then year 3 just absolutely blew everybody out of the water. He has and I can't remember when I mentioned this, but he has a really unique opportunity right now that has presented itself because of the broken wrist, and that he is just working all the time with just his left hand. I mean, it is a really interesting opportunity for him. Not that he was ever bad with his left.
To forget how to shoot with the right hand. That's the opportunity. No,
I just think it's cool. I mean, he's forced to work only with his left.
Yeah.
Just I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what will change about his game because of that, but it's just with every bad thing that happens to you, like, you have a unique opportunity presented, and that's just what's happening with him right now. So I'm just really curious to see what he's worked on. But what did you have in mind for him as far as like what he can improve at?
I have 3 things, which one correlates with what you were just saying, which is improving the finishing. I think that J-Dub is a very good finisher, but I think that he can improve the things that he can do to get at the rim, and the thing that he can do while he is at the rim. I mean, again, J-Dub is very efficient, but if you think about the finishers at the rim, you think at Kyrie Irving, you say, oh, well, there's a big difference. He can do everything that he wants. And I remember saying the same thing about Shea. Shea has always been a very good finisher at the rim, but by year 2, people will just send him in left every single time.
Yeah.
And then year 3, maybe year 2 in OKC, and then he learned how to do that. And so now teams are not putting him on his left hand because it's probably worse. So regarding what you said before, I think that he has a unique opportunity to improve as a left-hand finisher. And the second thing that is related to this one is just improving free throw rate and quality. Because one of the weird thing about J-Dub is that he's a great shooter. I would say like a great shooter because the pull-up is so smooth, so just fantastic from a technical standpoint. And yet the free throw accuracy is not where it's supposed to be. Like 78 is not bad, but with the touch that he has, he should be in the 85 plus club.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that that really changes the efficiency, because if you are a guy that takes 7 free throws per game at 80%, 85%, that is a great number.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think that this area of this offense, which is again finishing and free throw shooting, it's something that he should work in the summer regarding the left hand finishing, and throughout the season for the accuracy at the free throw line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 78% was a career low for him. He was 81% in his first 2 years. It's funny, he shot in the playoffs the exact same, 78% from the free throw line, 81% the year before. That's just kind of funny that
he's steady, really steady.
He's very steady. Yeah, I think that those kind of efficiencies will come with time with him. Like you said, like he's a good enough shooter. Like he's got the touch. It's not that he needs to rework anything. And so the fact that he's so adaptable though is like probably his superpower, that he can adapt to positions, situations. I mean, just it's unbelievable how adaptable he is. And he's willing to do whatever. And so I think that he's got the chance to be like one of like the best wings of all time. Like I think that we could look back at his career and say that like the Thunder one just got like a steal at 12 in the draft. But I think that his ability to be adaptable to almost any situation, to almost any position on the court, and the fact that he just finished year 3 and he's only 24 years old. I mean, the guy has not even in his prime yet. You know, like what does a 28-year-old J-Dub look like? You know, physically, I think he's going to be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
But like to have all the experiences that he's already had by the age of 24. I mean, and if he continues to work like he has been, which there are times where guys will stagnate once they like achieve a lot, and I don't really see that happening with this Thunder team or with these guys. A lot of it is that like similar to like what Kobe was to people, like Shea leads this group and just like, hey, like I'm going to work and I'm going to show you guys how to work. And I think that having that example is huge for all of these guys, but specifically for J-Dub, like he can be one of the best wings of all time, you know, and certainly I think the best wing in the NBA period. I think that he could be that once we see him at 27, 28, 29. That's the scary thing for the league, and that people aren't talking about enough, is that this team is the best team in the NBA. I don't think it's crazy close between other teams right now. and they're going to just get better because of age. This is a team that doesn't have guys in their overlapping primes yet. And I think this team will be clicking on a different level when those three are in their overlapping primes. We are not there yet. And they've already won one title. Like, that's why, like, people think I'm crazy maybe for saying this team is going to win multiple titles and this is like they're going to win a lot. I truly believe they are, just because this team they're not there yet, like, just age-wise. I think they're going to be better than they were last year just because of age and experience. And so they have to have luck on the injury side like they did in the playoffs, and not that J-Dub injuring his wrist was lucky, but,
Yeah, that's, I mean, the fact that we are saying that, yes, they had luck compared to Denver and compared to Indiana, which is factually true. Denver lost a player entirely, and Indiana did in one game, which was 1.5 game, which counted a lot. But OKC wasn't really healthy, and they lost Chet for half a season, as we discussed.
Yeah,
they didn't have Chet Holmgren 100%. So yes, they had luck.
Available is what it comes down to. Like, J-Dub,
Yes.
It shows, and I talked about adaptability. Like, the most adaptable thing that he did was work around the wrist, in the playoffs. And that it is a truly remarkable story. Like, I hope that the championship DVD, or I don't even know if they release it on DVD, the championship movie video, DVD, like, really highlights the struggles physically that these guys went through. Because it was, we could be sitting here on August 24th talking about how they lost to Denver or Indiana or Minnesota, and like talking about, hey, J-Dub had wrist surgery and Chet wasn't healthy, and like, these guys are going to be healthy. Like, there were no excuses on the table good enough for any of these guys.
Yeah.
And that's why we're sitting here today, talking about a championship team, because like, those guys, there was no excuse. And that's something that Oklahoma City has never really had before. Like, they've never had a group like that, that's this resilient, that's this adaptable. Like, that to me is like the hallmark of this team, is that they have that resiliency and adaptability that no other Thunder team had ever had before. And it's the stories that have kind of surfaced from it are truly special.
Yeah.
What else?
Where do you want to go next?
Huh?
Where do you want to go next?
I want to talk about Case and Wallace next.
Oh, interesting.
An interesting character in all of this to me.
Yeah. I think that one very obvious thing is to increase the accuracy and volume from the corners, which is something that is, everybody knows that. I think that Kaysen worked a lot on one of the weaknesses that he had, which was adding strength. I don't think that he's there yet, though. I think that improving his core strength is mandatory for him. And he has two of the best masters at that, or three. I mean, J-Dub, Dort, Caruso. Those are incredibly strong human beings. I mean, Caruso just held off Jokic in the post. I know that everybody who doesn't love the Thunder will say, yeah, but he was hand-checking him. Welcome to the NBA. I mean, that is how everybody plays defense. I mean, Bruce Bowen. Was Bruce Bowen not physical? Dear Lord, he was super duper physical. And I mean, Kevin Garnett, we just spoke about KG. I mean, was he just gentle with other guys? No, he was extremely physical. That is how you're supposed to be. And I think that for Kaysen, that is the calling card, because his hands are probably the best in the team already.
Yeah, I agree.
In terms of point of attack. His mobility left and right, that is improving by my eyes. The strength, that is where you can really gain flexibility as a defender, because right now you can say that Kaysen is a very good defender, 1-2-2, but already when he guards bigger wings, is not always effective.
Yeah.
And so I think that that is somewhere where even if he's not that tall, he has super long hair, arms, wide hands, and he can really be more effective by just being a little bit more strong in terms of core.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And a lot of that is just you can only gain so much strength every offseason, and it's really hard during an NBA season with the amount of games and travel and everything going on to add strength. Like that's definitely an off-season thing. There's a reason that Muscle Watch is a thing in the NBA. And so, yeah, I think Kaysen is one to kind of look for on media day. Like, hey, what does Kaysen look like physically? Has he taken a step up? Like even thinking about Lou from when he got into the league to now. Like Lou is already pretty big. Like he just is a big guy. But thinking about him on media day, whenever he was here on a 2-way contract to today, drastically different, and so
Yeah.
the same can happen for I think the same thing can happen for Kaysen. I think he's certainly not built as big as Dort, but I think like he can get a lot stronger. I like that one. Also, I would just love to see him be a guy that kind of looks for his own shot more.
Yeah.
To be just more aggressive as a shot taker, just because his usage rate is just really low.
Yeah.
And it's not that like, oh my gosh, we need him. But I do think that like he needs to like, and especially like him in a contract year, and I'm sure that he's got people in his ear, I'm sure, that are telling him that he needs to have a higher usage rate and needs to like hunt his own shot. But yeah, I mean like the only guys that had a lower usage rate this season than Kaysen were Alex Dukas and Malachi Leons are the only two. I mean, he was
That's crazy.
He was lower than Dylan Jones, and like Jay Will had a higher usage. Caruso, and it's not like Caruso and Dort have high usage rates. They don't. They're low. But like the fact that Kaysen's even lower really says something.
Yeah.
But it's hard whenever you have your top three guys where Shea has almost 35% usage rate, which is significant. Dub is 27 and Chet's 22. Like that, it's hard to like, how do I fit in? Like, where is my spot? Like, I'm not saying that he needs to like take over, but there's a lot of spots where he's coming off the bench and like could go hunt his own shot. Like Aaron Wiggins has a 20% usage rate. Isaiah Joe has a 17% usage rate. Hartenstein is 16%. I just think that he is a more talented player than a 12.8 usage rate. That's all.
Yeah, I do think how you like where does it take shots from? Because I really think that he right now he struggles in operating in pick and roll settings. There is nothing that really flows for him. In like OKC rarely runs pick and roll with him. So I really think how to make that vision something, because I believe that he has more to showcase. But I wonder specifically in OKC, how can he really get to that? Because of again, he's not the guy that will take the ball. Oh, maybe crying. Sorry. But I'm not entirely sure how that comes to fruition. That said, it's not a terrible thing for OKC if that doesn't come to fruition. Because I mean, if you are a 12.8% usage rate guy, then maybe you can get him on, I don't know, 5 for 90 kind of thing, which is something that OKC can probably afford. I'm still under the assumption that it's very hard for OKC to keep him, Dort, and Caruso over the next few years. But I'm also curious to see what OKC does in terms of cap and taxes and aprons, because I mean we are dedicating a lot of effort, and it's really good to say, okay, if OKC does this, this, and that, they can still be under the second apron. And say, okay, but if you have the best team in the league, should you really go under, or just hey, go over for 2-3 seasons and then you hit a reset?
Yeah.
Like I wonder, like if you have this team, this entire team, that is extremely expensive, yes, but is winning, and by winning I mean multiple championship dynasty. Are you really looking at that in the same way, where yeah, we really need to go under? Because I think that the thing that the second apron does you the most is it basically break your flexibility. But
Yeah.
do you really need flexibility when you already have everything that you need?
Yeah, it's a good question. I am very curious. There are a lot of paths that they can take to get under, and a lot of it will depend on how good are the guys on the back half of the roster. You know, that to me is the
Yeah.
real story. Where if like, hey, AJ has kind of stagnated and Topic isn't ready, and Sorber is not ready, and Brooks Barnheiser has already washed out. Like if that all happens, which I think is unlikely that all goes negatively, but if it does, then it's like, okay, we may have to run it back and may have to bring these guys all back. Now, I think Sorber is going to be really good, and I think AJ is going to be really good. Like those are the guys that I probably feel the most confident with. Topic, I just really just don't know like what that looks like, and I'm not positive or negative on him. I'm just like very curious about him. And then like Barnheiser is just really like he's a fun player, and if he shoots it, it's really going to work, and if he doesn't, then it's going to be a question. I don't know, but I just think that like if like they have options, but a lot of it is like, hey, the options to go under they get easier if AJ is taking a big step forward.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like,
Which is probably one of the most interesting summer developments, in
yeah.
my opinion. I said, I think in July, what if they trade Isaiah Joe? Or I said Isaiah Joe. I'm not sure that Aaron Wiggins is really going to be moved. And that was really the idea behind it was, hey, what if AJ is so really good, so
Yeah.
extremely good that you cannot play him less than 20 minutes because he's like extremely good? Then that is a path where you can see them just preparing the future a little bit earlier by moving things away, to make room for guys like AJ.
Yeah.
I think that for AJ, my summer thing is very boring, but it is real. I mean, he was an extremely good shooter on such a low volume.
Yeah.
He should really focus on, hey, I really need to extend my range and to just take pull-ups.
Yeah.
Because I think that will change everything for him. If he's going to be like a 36, 37% guy on, let's say, 2 split-up opportunities and 2 shots off the dribble, that player is so valuable for OKC. And I
Yeah.
think that he has it in him. He's a very good shooter. He's lefty. He is already a good enough playmaker where you can keep him on the floor and trust him to make good choices. To me, the separator is, can he get shots off the dribble, and can he up his volume from 3-point range in general to make it easier to live without a guy like Isaiah Joe.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate. I really love a player like Isaiah Joe, which to me has, I mean, a perfect role in the regular season. And I think that he can play in the playoffs. He was not very effective, but I think that he can be effective on a game basis, like Aaron Wiggins was.
Yeah.
I just think that the actualized version of AJ Mitchell is such an interesting player and can add a little bit more than what Isaiah Joe can.
Yeah. I'll give my thoughts on AJ Mitchell right after this quick break. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. They take a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brendan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, just like mine right here. Plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all done in-house. It's crazy that you can get it done that quickly. A lot of times you're having to wait. They'll put like little temporaries in your mouth, and like you're just looking weird for a little bit. Not at Ring Family Dentistry. Give them a call or schedule your appointment. 405-621-1555, or you can make an appointment on their website, ringfamilydentistry.com. Support the people that support Down to Dunk, and go check out Ring Family Dentistry. I think AJ is going to surprise some people, and I think that potentially he could kind of force the Thunder's hand a little bit with how good he is. In like making an Isaiah Joe trade where it's like, hey, we can get a first round pick for Joe in 2028 or whatever it is. Like, we're going to do that. One, stacking first rounders in those years of having the guys in their overlapping prime, I think is really important, because that's when, one, you either need somebody that is relatively inexpensive to pair with these guys, or you can use the picks to go get somebody, to help, supplement what you need. Like, hey, we know we need this exact position. This veteran's available, that he wants to play for OKC. We have the pick capital to go get him. Let's go get him. I think it's important to do that. I just think AJ, what he can do off the dribble, and like if he can do what you're saying, if he can be a guy that can shoot, a bunch of threes and be a floor spacer as well, there's so much value in a guard that's 6'5", that can handle. He's a good passer. I think he's a decent defensive player. I think that there's like sky's the limit for this guy. Like he shot 38% on 1.7 attempts. If you can up that to 4 or 5, like we're talking about like a truly impactful player. Like per 100 possessions, he was only at 4.8. Like that's just not a lot of attempts.
Yeah.
Some of that is like he's good at a lot of things. It's not just the 3-point shot. It's that if guys are running at him, like he can attack a closeout pretty easily. He's got a mid-range game. He can get to the hoop and score. Like there's just a lot of things that he can do. But I just love to see him be a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, per 100 possessions, he's 18, 5, and 5. He's got a very balanced game. And I think I hope that he can stay healthy too, because one, it was just a bummer to lose him mid-season last year, but I just think he can make a huge impact on this team.
For him, yes. Salary-wise, no. I mean, he signed a deal that if he had like a better season, if he had like a 8, 2, and 3 kind of season, you probably could not sign him to that deal. So yes, it's not all bad what happened to OKC. I think that I don't want to draw parallels here, but the fact that J-Dub in year 2 was just too good for Summer League, and it was abundantly clear after 10 minutes of seeing him play, especially for his strength. He was so much stronger than anybody else. He was just getting at the rim, finishing like guys were not even there. And for AJ, was not that. He was not that better, but he was so much better than everybody else. He looked stronger. He looked in control. Everything looked very easy for him.
Mm-hmm.
And J-Dub was playing with Trey Mann, Chet Holmgren, Giddy. I mean, he had like an NBA team basically with him. And that means spacing. That means like people not focusing 100% on him. AJ had basically nobody. He had Topic, yes, cool. I don't qualify Youngblood and Barnheiser as very good floor spacer guys, even if Youngblood is a good enough shooter.
Yeah, they
So
had bigs.
AJ had to do it with basically the entire offense on the opponent team, the entire defense on the opponent team, just focusing on him. Which
Yeah.
again, it's summer league. You should be really careful. Kevin Knox is still very strong in our memory to judge anything that happens in Vegas with too much of of a projection tool. But he was very good. So I'm extremely interested to see how he plays his first few games in a couple, well, not a couple, in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he averaged 26 and 4, in summer league, and his assists, like I think he would have had so many more assists if they just had like one big that could screen and roll at any level at all. Like if Sorber was somehow able to play, I think it would have been massive for them just to have a guy that could catch a basketball on like a short roll, or somebody to play DHO with. Like they just didn't really have that in any of their bigs, and yet he still was thriving. I just think this guy is going to be really good. I think he's kind of next in line for like these like really big wins that the Thunder have had in the second round. Um, they just did a tremendous job picking that guy, and I think that when we do redrafts in a few years, like he will just clearly be. I think he's already clearly a first round type of talent. I think he will continue to rise. I think that he's that good. So it's exciting. Michele, anything else before we go?
Yeah, I have one player that I want to do more, but it's very quick.
Yeah.
It's Kenrich Williams. I just said, yo, can you please don't get bored and stick with us? I think that Kenny is such a fantastic charter in OKC history. I mean, he is clearly a guy that every time he steps into a court, he does something and shows, hey, this is the true soul of this team.
Mhm.
Everybody should do as I do. Whenever your name is called, you better be ready, prepared, and do something good. And the people who don't align are quickly afterthoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And this is special to have a guy that is not the most talented, not the best, the most effective on defense, not the best shooter, to be your commander, basically, of style and consistency and discipline. It's just not as important as having the MVP, of course, but it's extremely important. And it goes way beyond what he does on the court, which, by the way, it's mostly good. So
Yeah.
I really hope that Kenrich decides that OKC is his home and views this as okay. I will stay here. I will get probably declining salary, and I will just show every young blood that comes, not young blood, but the young separate blood that comes into this team, how we play, what we are made of.
Yeah. I mean he said it's been a few years now, but he said he wanted to retire here. And this was before they were even very good.
Yeah.
And so I think he likes it here. I think that he's got young kids. He's kind of established himself. He loves to fly his drone at Lake Hefner over here. So like there's a lot that I think keeping Kenny Hustle in OKC. But I agree. I think that he's just a guy that you keep as long as you can. I don't know what they're gonna do to I don't know if he'll take the minimum or whatever he needs to do to stick around, but I just think he's a helpful player on the court still. I think he could play for a lot of teams.
Oh yeah.
And then like locker room, like you said, and leadership and all of that. He's a really good guy. He's a really solid guy, and he possesses a lot of leadership. And he's somebody that, I always talk about how like I'm like happy for my kids to root for a lot of these guys. Like he's one certainly that I feel that way about. Like, he's just a tremendous guy. And like Thunder fans are lucky to have a guy like Kenrich to root for. So I can't, and I think that there are a lot of teams that could use him. Like Golden State could use a guy like him, right now. I think Denver, like if he was on Denver, he would have played a lot in that series. So, good on Kenrich, for being the guy that he is. Okay, we're going to end there. We'll have more next week. We'll talk more about what Thunder players can do to improve. Hope everybody's doing well during the August times of the NBA. We're about to get some cooler weather here in OKC for this week, so looking forward to that. Hope everybody has a good Sunday, and we will talk to you guys again on Wednesday.